Hello, everybody, and welcome to Save Your Bacon, a Device Comedy podcast where we think we're helping. My name is Will.
And I'm Evie-nominated and award-winning Zane, and
Whoa!
and that's not supposed to be new news. That's just something I'm gonna say now from now on, so that everyone knows.
It's just a title to stand by.
That's like Mister for me, that whole thing. All right.
Yeah.
And just to show you, we're very self-sufficient.
Mr. Shaw is my dad. I'm Evie award-winning Zane Shaw. Yeah, that sort of thing.
It does show that we're professional and self-sufficient, as well as those the good old paper master degrees. Also, fun fact, everybody that's listened for a while that knows, I haven't had teeth for 3 months. I have teeth now.
Yay! I was going to say, this has been an exciting week for Zane. Zane had a birthday. Zane had some teeth. Was that a birthday present from the dentist?
Yeah, yes, it really was. Because
they were planning on holding it for a while, and they decided to push up the date.
I think that's...
he's suffered enough.
Because early on, they said I'd be done with all this teeth work mid-March, at the latest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that they were just like, oh, but his birthday's in May. Why don't we just hold out for a little bit?
It'll be that much more exciting when he gets to celebrate his birthday with teeth.
Exactly. I love a good adventure.
You take it for granted otherwise. Hey, I wanted to say one thing before we get started, and that is regarding the angry text that I got directly after last week's episode got released because Will messed up, and he said that a certain question was asked by our listeners Jenna and Sierra. It was asked by Annie Wagner. I've never seen the wrath of the likes of which before. So my apologies. Please forgive us. Don't stop listening because I goofed. I hope we can all move past this together and be a better and stronger family given in time. It's a learning mistake.
What is a family if not a bunch of people who make mistakes and forgive each other?
And who call each other the wrong names.
And then we have hugging sessions for like days.
It doesn't end.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, just want to make sure that was known. I think if we really want to, we can start with the podcast.
Why don't we do that? Do you have a good opener?
That was my opener, but I'll give you a question. Okay, hey Zane and Will. I work in an office under quite a few people. One of my supervisors loves coming up to me while I'm working just to mess up my hair on an almost daily basis.
Oh my God.
I put product in my hair, and I think it looks pretty bad after they do this. I've expressed it not being fun to deal with. How do I change his behavior? And that is from Harried Hair Hagler.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Harry.
I can get behind this 1,000%.
Really? You've had this happen?
What is up with the idea of you gotta get inside the mind of the boss? The boss comes by. Now, if you're a parent and you've got a kid and you run up to your kid and you rustle their hair a bit and say, good job, old sport, like they did in the 1920s about everything, fine, I won't judge you. But if you're a boss in a suit and tie, walking through a cubicle of other suit and tied ladies and gents, and you see one of your workers and say, that hair looks too neat.
That needs mussying. Yeah.
That hair is too... Because at this point, you're not walking up to them like they're your kid or whatever and just be like, hey, yeah, good job. You've seen their hair from afar and you've thought, gotta run my fingers through that mess.
That's my chance. Yeah, absolutely. I think there are a lot of ideas. The first one is obviously in the same way that you would mussy a child's hair, that this is a power play.
Yeah. I think he's trying to say you're his kid. You're his workplace kid.
Which is difficult to deal with, and I mean, workplace kid might be the PG term for what he's actually trying to emulate here. My other thought is that you just have a sort of hair that looks better mussied, and you just don't know that yet. It's more of a you know how like when you go to the store and somebody's like, you should try this on, you're like, no, and you're like, no, really, try this on, and when you finally try it on, you're like, dang, I never thought I could pull off this style.
Exactly.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that it's possible your boss is trying to get you to discover yourself through a new sort of, like a just got out of the shower sort of look.
Your boss is trying to pretty woman you. That's what it is. He's trying to pretty woman you in this situation of, now all they need to do is lose the glasses, lose the mutton chops, lose the the bow tie and the plaid sweater or whatnot, and they'll be good to go. But I have to do this on my own. I can't just say, hey, change your appearance, because that sounds mean and offensive and subjective. I need to do this subliminally. Yeah. So I don't think he's trying to mess up your hair. I think he's trying to restyle it for you.
I think that's it. He doesn't have a good go-to way to break it to you that your style sucks. But take it from us, we're willing to have the difficult, crucial conversations.
Yeah.
That maybe this is, step 1 of 8 of the steps that your boss is trying to, maybe he has a nephew that he's trying to get you with, and his nephew is like, nephew, niece, I always get them confused. Whatever it may be, I don't know what gender you even are. It doesn't matter. You have some sort of... Why is that? Why do nephews and nieces get specific, gendered titles, but they basically mean the exact same... Anyways, it's an aunt and uncle thing that's just way harder because they're both aunts, and I always get them confused. It doesn't matter. Anyways, and that niece/nephew is can't deal with people who actually comb their hair, must be mussy, and that's number 1 of 8 of their requirements. And he's just trying to get you your foot in the door.
If think of it this way, all right, because right now you're just saying, oh, my boss is messing up my hair. Take a step back and look very detailed into it. When they're messing up your hair, does it actually feel like for half an hour they're restyling it into a new fashion, and they're saying you're gonna look so good after this? And then do they say, now would you like me to rinse your hair in the sink and shampoo it for you?
Yeah, is your workplace a hairdresser? I was gonna also ask that question.
These are the things that I have not asked yet.
Yeah.
Are you also positive you're at work and not at getting a haircut?
Is your work the haircut?
Are
you the office worker for the haircuttery, and you are the one who they're just you're the first person they see, and they need you to have a better haircut because they walk in and the receptionist doesn't have a very good haircut, and they're like, clearly this isn't a good place.
Are you letting them mess with your hair because when you walked in they said you're gonna get cut, and you thought it meant fired, and you said, oh boy, I better go along with whatever they want to do now just to make sure that I don't do anything wrong, and really they're giving you a haircut and you're just getting a haircut, and you don't understand why at the end of the day you're not getting a paycheck but instead paying them.
And they keep on saying put your phone away throughout the entire time as you're sending in this message, but that's just because you keep on getting the hair that they are cutting all over your phone, and it's disruptive.
Here's another thing. Also, when you say your boss is doing this, are there, let's say, 10 other bosses around you also cutting and messing with the hair of other people that you supposedly work with or are getting haircutted around?
Is your boss's only sort of title and requirement to get to that place cosmetology degree?
Yes. Does your boss actually have scissors in their hands? This is a big key giveaway of that it might be a haircut if they are taking scissors to your hair.
It is not just a metaphor of you getting snipped from the business.
Right.
It is literally what they need to do in order to perform their job.
Exactly.
I hope that helps. I hope that helps.
Yeah, another thing also, if they say that you're going to dye, don't look too far into it. Maybe you're just going to get new hair color. Maybe that's just
that
something.
might be it. That might be part of the mussying as well. I hear it's quite difficult to not mussy the hair when getting your hair dyed.
Exactly.
So that might be part of it.
Yeah.
Man, I think we really helped there.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of helping out, why don't we help out another person? I got a good question for you. This comes from Reddit user Matt Facio. Can we throw trash in the sun?
Oh, man, I've been waiting for this.
There's good context.
I remember... Okay, yeah, give me the context.
All right. Context is...
I'm going to say the same thing no matter what, but give me the context.
Context is... I've had this question for 2 years now. Could I love that it's only been 2 years. Could we theoretically launch trash into the sun? Maybe we could build a giant cannon, or an empty spaceship that goes to the sun, opens its doors, and comes back. But that's not important. If we think science, the sun would only burn the garbage, which wouldn't be bad.
We think science.
Let's think science here. The sun only burns garbage, which wouldn't be bad for the Earth since it's on the outside. Or could the sun rays somehow intensify with the help of trash? P.S. I really need an answer.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to have this question read to me like 6 times to get all the golden nuggets out of it. But my first thing is just the idea that I think that was my favorite part of the Green New Deal was when they said they were going to make a very large bolt thrower-esque cannon to fire garbage from.
A garbage trebuchet.
Yeah, that sort of idea where they're going to just convert the Hubble telescope into a new rocket in order to launch garbage. That was actually my favorite part. I know AOC really got burned for that one, rightfully so, but I thought that part specifically really hones in weirdly enough to exactly what this question is.
Yeah, theoretically, launch trash into sun. Now, would you believe more so in the idea of cannon on Earth launching trash into sun, or spaceship that? Now you got to think science with me here. Spaceship that. We're really what it comes down to, Will, is we're talking science.
Now let's get on board with the science all of a sudden.
Now, I know you think of me as just
now back up. Let's science.
Your average ordinary person, but now we're at TED Talk, and now we're talking science specifically. Rocket ship goes to sun, just as you do any day, opens doors, lets trash out to the surface of the sun. Only trash burns. Rocket ship's fine. Rocket ship comes back. We do it again. That or cannon.
I mean, we're throwing away a bit of fuel, maybe, as well as the garbage with the spaceship idea.
Now that may or may not be every comment on this question.
No.
Everybody is saying, do you understand how much fuel we'd be using to get to and fro the sun consistently?
Well, now I just feel like an idiot for saying the obvious, but
no, it's not. Hey, obviously it's not the obvious because someone asked the question. Well,
you're right. It wasn't obvious enough to not be asked. Did you know that a fun fact? I know it isn't talking about just putting it out into space. It's talking about specifically going to the sun. But if we messed up doing that, you would create probably enough trash circling the Earth. They say that there's just a certain amount of trash that as soon as it starts circling the Earth, no one would ever be able to leave, or else they would get everything would get destroyed by the amount of garbage flying at 20,000 miles an hour, blasting through whatever you're traveling in. Wow. Kill you instantaneously.
Or same subject being killed instantaneously.
Oh yes.
Would it start to burn up in within atmosphere range, or from the speed that it's traveling, etc.? Would it start to burn up and then create a literal giant firewall around the Earth?
Well, if fire could exist without oxygen, I would say absolutely yes. Star Wars has slightly led us astray on these ideas.
Hey, we're talking about the sun here.
We're talking about science, boy.
The sun is just fire, and unfortunately, it's pretty far away. But thank God we're talking science, because we've already thunk up a rocket that can make it to this ball of fire and not burn and get rid of trash.
Now, can we? What was the name of that? What was the name of that kid again?
I've been in talks with Boston Dynamics. You know, the people that build all the robots that we push over and then they pick up boxes, and they're the robots that any video that you see on YouTube or online, all we're doing is abusing them.
Is that in Boston?
Yeah, it's Boston Dynamics.
Oh, that's true. Okay, fine.
It really is. The ones where literally all you do is tip over the robot and see it get up, and then it just keeps tipping over. Just because
honestly.
Its one function is getting up. This rocket, its one function isn't even carrying trash.
Hey, really, when you think about it, isn't our only function just getting back up and continuing?
Yeah, also throwing out trash is also throwing out trash. One of. So pretty much same thing. But this robot's not even built to throw away trash. It just knows how to open its doors and not burn.
Love that.
That's all this. Yeah. And then also, the one thing that they didn't mention is that we have to puppy train it. So when it gets to the sun and it's opened its doors and whatnot, we have to yell. I can't whistle because my lips are numb. Here, boy.
Yeah, boy. You sound pretty good for numb-lipped.
Thank you. Because also I didn't mention this. I'm doing this right after coming from the dentist.
Yeah, which is really fun and exciting.
Yeah.
This is coming out a day late because we just wanted to do it while his lips were
Don't even worry about it. We're not talking medical.
We're talking
This is strictly science.
This is strictly some science. Absolutely, yeah.
We are changing the podcast name to Science Your Bacon. One last thing to wrap this up. Would the sun rays somehow intensify with the help of trash?
Would it create a bigger, hotter fire?
P.S. I really need an answer. Would the rays intensify? Would the sun become one of the largest trash fires?
I think it'd more be like all the people who live on the sun would fight over all the fun souvenirs that they've created until they pick it up and it immediately disintegrates into ash.
The thing that we haven't even talked about yet.
The sun people.
We're
just moving the litter from one planet to another. Nobody thinks about the sun people and the litter they're now having to deal with.
Let's talk science here, because obviously they're throwing out their fire trash. And they're thinking they could throw it to us, but they know that would kill us.
What do you think climate change comes from other than the sun garbage that the sun people throw at us?
It's really, climate change is all just useless sun garbage.
Useless sun garbage. Who needs the sun? Let's just push it somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Or put sunglasses on it or something. Cool off, man.
Chill.
You're too hot-headed. Now, we haven't even discussed this pure science base. Would trash even burn on the sun?
I'm at a loss. Do I say the answer, or do I say the thing that's definitely wrong?
Would the trash even burn? And all we're really doing is helping giving the sun people building material to build a new society.
You're right. That's it.
Yeah. Right. It's got to be that.
It's got to be that. I don't need to respond. You're right.
So we're helping them and ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you said, can we throw trash in the sun? Technically, no. We can throw trash on the sun and make the universe a better place to live for everyone.
Yes. I hope that helps. We got that answer quickly. All right. Our next question asker is Jake Edwards. Jake Edwards questions into us asking, can you open up your own prison? Thank you. I think this is creating your own private prison. Can you open up your own prison? Thank you.
Can you open up your own prison? I'm not gonna lie. My sister and her boyfriend once did an entire musical based on doing this.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, opening up their own prison because
Is it a famous?
No, they wrote it.
They wrote a musical, an entire musical.
They improvised it. A whole musical about creating your own prison.
You improvise an entire musical sometimes?
So, the thing about this situation is, are you making it because you want to rehabilitate all of the people that have done wrong and you think everybody deserves a second chance and you're a good-hearted soul? Or because there are a lot of people that you just kind of hate and bitch about in life and you kind of want to put them behind bars?
If you create your own prison, going along with that, do you get to create your own rules?
Yeah.
Is it your own laws that let you dictate who gets thrown in prison?
Like, think about all the different prison rules already. There's already rules of, celebrities get special treatment, so they're, fancier prisons where it's really just rehabilitation center, where you're just, kind of in jail, but really on a resort for the rest of your life. Then there's the prison that everyone thinks is all prison in film, which is everyone gets stabbed at least twice a day and drugs are mandatory, and also everyone's more ripped than the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, get in line for your daily stabbings, please.
And then there are the varieties of odd movies, like the Human Centipede one, where that's apparently a rule at the prison.
Is that in prison?
There's at least one where that's in prison.
Oh, that's a personal prison. That's a man-made prison. Hopefully that's not what question asker Jake Edwards is leaning towards.
Jake, that's unfortunately something you could do if you created your own prison. Also, we have created our own prison in the podcast. Do you remember this?
Was it the magician prison, or is it just the metaphorical prison that we put in ourselves in by creating this podcast?
Both. We talked about if a prison was made of all these magicians that wanted to escape prison, so they forcibly put themselves in prison. And hey, you can make up your own rules at any point in time. Will, what's a rule you would throw out there if you ran a prison? It was your prison, Will's prison.
Okay, I'd get rid of the jumpsuits. I'd get rid of the jumpsuits completely. I think that you are forced to dress from the era in which the rule you broke was created in. I'm sticking to it.
Wow. So if you arrest a witch...
If I arrest somebody for witchcraft, they will be put in medieval Dungeons and Dragons-esque garb. Yes. It's a fun game, because then you get to guess each time. Instead of everybody wearing the same thing, you get in your new cell with your new prison mate, and there's like, what are you in for? No, that doesn't happen, because it's just like you see them, knows. Somebody's in, a knight's suit of armor, and you're like, oh boy, let me guess, you committed high treason, or you were committed of witchcraft. I mean, witchcraft, I suppose you would just be put in a witch's costume. That would make the most sense. You'd be given a broom, but it's made of rubber, so you can't make it into a shiv.
Right, and you also can't fly away, because you can't have that during recess.
It's a non-flying broom as well, yes.
Yeah. Make sure that you can't, because that would be too easy. If we gave you a flying broom, you just fly away out during the recreational time.
And then we're right back to the magicians in the prison situation.
Yeah.
Yes. So here's the other thing. If you had your own prison, I forgot to ask you, what rule would you employ, or what will you get rid of?
Only babies.
Only babies in prison completely?
Yes.
That sounds problematic now.
No, it's fine. And here's why. No problem.
No, it's fine. Keep going.
Only babies. Babies that cry on planes, gotta go to prison. My bad.
Oh, immediate imprisonment, yes.
Babies that anytime that you try and put a birthday hat on them and they throw it off, gotta go to prison. That's littering, you little idiot. Babies that anytime you say, do you want to do this, and they won't stop saying no, that prison sentence for you.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I'm gonna be very honest. They are gonna start gangs. They are gonna get tattoos. They are gonna become very violent.
It will become an amazing drama series that we will all profit off of. It is Baby Boss inspired.
We will allow one two-handed great sword to be thrown into the mix.
Baby. Yeah. Oh, just for all the babies. Okay.
Yes. So it's one two-handed great sword. Since they are babies, they will have to find little groups and work together in order to wield the two-handed great sword.
To lift and drop on the enemies, yes.
And this is very important. Obviously, it's punishable if you kill or harm any prisoner in prison. If you harm or kill them with the two-handed greatsword, you're totally off the hook.
You're released.
That is, yes, you actually get freed from... That's your way out, is you have to fight for your freedom. And could you imagine how great your childhood story would be? Just think about how great. Yeah.
Now this is some new age draconic fight to the death sort of baby gladiator situation. Will there be cameras? Will this be televised? Is that how the revenue comes in?
Only televised during recreational time. Yes. Very important to mention, no parents allowed at all. No visiting hours. That's rude. Because you don't want to interfere with them getting ready for battle. If they remember their loved ones, they're not going to fight as well, because then they're going to be worried and there's going to be panicking. They're like, oh, my parents are watching. Great. Goo goo gaga. All of that good baby stuff.
Yes.
Now, the loser does get a complimentary bottle. Just a bottle of warm milk. While they bleed out. That's
in their last few moments. I love that we've spiraled into, can you start your own prison, to baby, I don't know, friendly fire sort of idea.
Question really quick for you, Will, about the death penalty.
Oh,
no. within your prison, a death row, because we all know what the death penalty is within baby prison. That's fine. But for you, Will, do people get death row dependent on their era as well?
I think it's very much a punishment for the crime sort of thing. I think we're foolish to ever move past the idea that parents should be punishing based on the crime. If a child says shut up, then you put soap in their mouths. But
so is the punishment to stitch their mouths shut within prison?
That's actually it. And that is my answer to death penalty. So my last a follow-up with this is that, do you get to decide who gets arrested. I mean, obviously the babies, yes, but if you were just theoretically to start your own prison,
theoretically, I personally, everywhere I went, I would handpick every baby that went into my prison.
So really, if people just avoid you, that would be the issue,
yes.
Right? People would avoid you like the plague, and you'd live a life of isolation.
Babies will have a hard time avoiding me. I promise you this.
Okay, that's fair. But if the parents recognize you for who you are, will they also avoid you?
They'll say, "Oh, that's Zane, the man that owns his own prison, and will throw my child in prison."
He will take your newborn baby and throw it into a gladiator prison. That is what he does. That is where he gets off.
The thing that's very important to point out here is some parents will realize how strong and brave and heroic their babies will become, and will hand over their baby.
I love that part. That's my favorite part of the what's it called? Catching Fire, Hunger Games. When people are just kind of sent off and being like, "I'm so proud of you. Go kill it," and knowing that there's a 1 in 16 chance or something that they'll come back alive, being like, well, this could be a great character. This could be an amazing character building opportunity. And I think that's what most of the families were thinking.
Hey, they might even turn this into a movie someday. You don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It would make great reality TV, to be quite honest, watching the babies. It's like the Puppy Bowl, except slightly shifted in a different direction.
Yeah, I think the best part about this is if you make your own prison, along with all these rules that we have discussed, where you can make it a babies-only prison, an era-dependent prison, a magician's prison, whatever you want. You also you can pick whoever you want, because you could arrest someone just by choice. That's it, just by choice. You could see someone and say, "Hey, come with me to my prison. You're gone for life now." And they'd say, "Why?" And you'd say, "That's the rules in my prison. Rule number 1: if I say you're in prison, too bad, so sad."
And you don't throw a fit. Yeah, Jake, if you open up your own prison, start a fundraiser, I'll donate. Let me know.
Hey, speaking of living and dying for things that you believe in and other new jobs, I got a great question for you.
Yeah, sweet.
All right, this question.
All right, hey, this is our middle time when we start to talk about just some of the stuff that you should know as you hit the middle of our show. So welcome to that, Zane. Zane's removing a claymore from a sheath currently, which I did not know. You might be able to hear the slight clanging as it nicks. Yup, that's it. That's the one. We didn't add. That sounds fabricated. That sounds 100% fabricated. It was too perfect.
It's a real sword.
So this is the time where I let you know, hey, thanks for being here, first off. Thanks so much. We appreciate that. It's good to see you again. And we'd like to say, hey, if you're listening to us and you haven't done so already, please send us out a rate, a review, those sort of things on the different platforms that we exist on, which right now is Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. That increases our visibility. Also, word of mouth is probably the best way that this sort of stuff gets shared. Not probably, most definitely is the way that this stuff gets shared. So we really appreciate being like, hey, what podcast you listen to? And you say, oh, it's a comedy advice podcast from people who don't talk about real things all day, but it's called Save Your Bacon, and you should check it out. Here, let me help you download all the episodes. That's helpful. That's great. I'm guilty of that. Sorry. And so, yeah, if you do that, that is fantastic. Zane, take it away.
Along with just stealing their phone and downloading every episode and basically Clockwork Orange taping their eyes open, force-feeding them this podcast, which we appreciate so graciously that you do for us. It's amazing. You're amazing people. Keep in mind, you can be a part of the show. They can be a part of the show. Let them know that. You can send us your questions at saveyourbaconpodcast@gmail.com. That is saveyourbaconpodcast@gmail.com. I don't know why I always say it like a GPS the second time, but I love it. We also have a Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, which are Twitter and Instagram are Zane and Will, and I believe our Facebook is Save Your Bacon Podcast. You can use hashtag Zane and Will, hashtag Save Your Bacon on any of those for us to find you easier. Emailing us your questions is far and away the easiest way to get your questions to us, but there are many options, and so really whatever works best for you, we'll probably find it. Yeah, just make sure that you send in questions, your friends send in questions, your nieces, your nephews, your neighbors, your prisoners, everybody. They're all welcomed and on this show because we run on you guys. You are the fuel to our sun trash fire, and we appreciate you wholly.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Hey, speaking of beautiful,
oh,
this
listen to those beautiful motorcycles chorusing my applause and my. Yep, keep going. Sorry.
Really revved up for this question comes from Professor Crumpets. And the question is, what jobs would ghosts be good at?
Man, we get a lot of ghost talk, don't we?
Little context says haunted house ride attraction, but that's really only in October, though.
Only in October. Yeah, what do ghosts do the other 11 months of the year? They have temp jobs, clearly, through stuff like haunted house rides. But what do they do otherwise?
Like, we already know, so what jobs... It says, what jobs would ghosts be good at? Like, we already know that they're good at, like, haunted houses and anything during October. Like,
anything particularly haunting in general, yes.
Yeah, they're good at, like, when people say, like, the legend of this person in this hotel room or whatnot, they're like, cool, now I'm getting paid just to chill in this hotel room, and when people come by, I'll blow the curtains a little bit. Maybe give them some chills. Good to go. Like, they know how to do that stuff.
I think they'd be good at being like the heads of like wizarding schoolhouses.
Okay, like teaching other people. Yo, what's up? I'm your professor, Professor Crumpets. I'm a ghost. Let me teach you all about the ins and outs and the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, they could teach some classes, but mostly just like, you know, being the head of wizardry houses, like like the Harry Potter kind. I was thinking also tour guide. I think they would be very good tour guides. They're probably pretty knowledgeable about history. They know the place pretty well. They've hung out. They've seen the place happen. They don't really have to be briefed on what's going on, and they don't really have a reason to be particularly biased. So you can just like say in the interview, like, will you or will you not be inclined to speak more well of yourself as a dead person than what the truth entails? And if they say no, then you can hire them and know they'll be good historical tour guides. That would be one idea.
Yeah, also think of all of the history that you didn't expect to learn if they were tour guides. Like, you stop by a graveyard and they'll be like, this is where Benny Franklin's buried. And then he'll be like, yo, Benny, wake on up. And then Benny comes out and he's like, what's good, my man, Professor Crumpets? How you been? And he says, oh, yeah, hey, Benny, just throw a little bit of knowledge on these fools. And then all of a sudden you're showered with knowledge nobody ever even knew. Like, all of a sudden you learn Benjamin Franklin had a tattoo, tramp stamp, that said ride or die. Like, nobody ever would have known that because his body is already, like, it's just a skeleton.
But thanks to your handy tour guide, we know that Benny Franklin has a ride or die tattoo on his left butt cheek.
Exactly. It's very important to learn these little facts because, all right, obviously they're all good in October. November rolls around. Sure, ghosts, you can still give tours. Historical tours, wonderful. Maybe even still ride off a little bit of the wave of like scariness. Cool.
I bet they'd be really good private investigators. Private investigators are just classically held down by the fact that they actually have to sleep and eat and whatnot. But I feel like not only would private investigator ghosts not get tired, they of even just like walking or traveling and hunting down their enemy, they also would probably get the information they needed from the people that they need to hunt down because they'd scare the garbage out of them. They'd scare the sun garbage right out of them, and they'd say, tell me what I need to know, and they'll tell them immediately because a ghost is interrogating them.
Yeah. Also, they could totally, like, they could hear conversations behind closed doors. No doubt. Like,
Now, what makes you think being a ghost gives you extra good hearing?
Now, let's look beyond the point that I was making of they're invisible and they could be in the room with people and actually work off of they are now just leaned up against a metal door and can hear very well what's happening behind the door.
Yes. See, I can get along with invisibility inside a room, but super hearing, no.
It's like Daredevil, you know? When he lost his sight, he got very good hearing.
So when they lost their everything, when
they lost their everything, they could pick one sense in which it was just immaculate. There is no more pristine hearing within the world than what they have.
Absolutely. Man, we really don't give enough credit to ghosts and their superpowers.
Like, the reason, like, when people try and talk to, like, spirits from beyond the grave or whatnot, like, they could be anywhere around the world and be like, yo, just heard my name called, got a buzz, got a blast.
But what people don't understand is that they're listening, but that's the only thing they can do at that one time because they have to choose their one sense. So they're listening so well, but they just can't respond.
So they could hear everything, and that's very important. Yeah, another thing, just, like, imagine, like, a mall cop.
They not stopping nobody, though.
No, but, like...
I'm gonna run through a ghost no matter what they say.
But, like, they can... Like I said, with, like, that they can hear every conversation. If they want, they can have the best sight in the world, too. Like, you're sliding that
so
DVD...
So they'd be a good narc, is what you're saying.
You're sliding that DVD into your coat pocket real quick. You don't even notice that there's Professor Crumpets literally an inch from your face just saying to himself, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? It's the Santa Claus. It's not even like, and it's not even Blu-ray. Why are you doing this? Just buy it. I don't know what you're doing this for. It's literally $3.99. Take it out of your coat pocket and buy it. Unfortunately, he can't say any of this to you because he's using all of his ability on sight. And so it's that's where it is. And then after all of that, he goes back to the manager and says, yo, I just saw that kid Damien over there, because he knows everyone's name. I saw that kid Damien over there slide the Santa Claus DVD into his coat pocket. I don't think he's going to pay for it. And they say, thank you, Professor Crumpets. We'll take it from here. And then they tackle him like a quarterback.
Yeah, what I'm gathering from this whole ordeal is that Mr. Crumpets is just a ghost man looking for... This is kind of the help wanted, like looking for employment. This is him putting in his Indeed resume online, in a sense.
If I didn't make this clear already, Professor Crumpets is a ghost.
Is a ghost just looking for a job.
He just needs a job. Whatever you did when you were alive, you'll probably still be good at. Like, I'm not gonna judge you on that. But if you played...
You think you carry your skills into the undeath?
If you played baseball, it's not like you forgot how to play baseball, right?
Because, that's an easy thing to assume. That once I die, I'll keep my skills.
Yeah, you gotta think about this, right? Because we're not taking into context, A, when you die, you're probably still good at what you were good at before. But B, whatever you didn't know how to do, you're still gonna need to learn how to do. Right?
Yeah, this is like a mid-existence crisis where you decide at the middle point of you being alive and being dead that you want to switch careers, and that's why he's asking for this.
Also, dead or alive, a job that you can jump into that you'll be amazing at no matter what is a stockbroker. Because you don't need any knowledge to be a stockbroker. You can just do that.
Agreed.
Yeah, and then, hey, you have a little bit of a benefit. If anybody's like, I don't know if I can trust you, you say, no, I'm a ghost. You can trust me. And then
do it or I haunt you.
I'll haunt you if you do not.
I will haunt you.
If you do not spend $5,000 on this one stock right now.
Trust me, I'm a ghost. Yeah, that's very good. I like that. I hate how long we can talk about ghosts for.
I love it. You want to talk about something else? Go ahead. Move on.
Oh, we can do that. Sure. Hope that helps. Honestly, I'm pretty proud of our recommendations.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I have a new question.
Yes.
This one actually comes from Jenna and Sierra.
Oh, cool.
It is the accidental names that I listed last week.
Perfect.
Instead of listing off Annie's name, because I read below it. This question did not get asked last week, so here we are. Jenna and Sierra ask, why do people think it's okay to comment on me looking tired or dead inside?
Oh my god.
I love this.
Man, okay.
I love this because we all know it's annoying, but nobody's willing to ask, why do you think that's okay?
There are two parts in that question. Now, why do you think it's okay to tell someone that they look tired? That's a really interesting point. Are you or are you not tired? It's literally reading a book by its cover. Maybe I am very tired, but if they say, boy, you look tired, if you're tired, you know this.
Oh my gosh, you're right, I'm withering away, and you fall asleep on the ground.
What if you were so energetic and they said, nah, you look tired, and you just said, oh no, all of my energy.
Here it comes.
Oh.
It's draining from your words, from your stupid garbage words.
Literally imagine just like a sink faucet was turned on and all of your energies just drained out. And now you're tired and you say, oh no, you're right. But the kicker was the second part of that question. How many people walk up to you and say, boy, you sure look dead inside?
enough to ask this question?
There's no way. There is no polite way to say, hey, has anyone ever told you you look pretty dead inside?
Truly, I think I've actually said this to a friend of mine once.
Here's your coffee. Also,
good thing you look dead inside.
Yeah. Why?
My barista this morning said, here's your coffee. You really look like you haven't had your first cup yet.
And then did you say, what are you trying to say?
What are you insinuating?
And did they say, well, you look dead and or tired with inside?
Yeah, I don't know. And I said, yeah, you're right. I should have responded, you look dead inside, and walked away with my coffee. I already paid for it. No, actually, the other day, I was going to say, was this just yesterday? This was just yesterday, because today's Monday, and yesterday was Mother's Day. Yesterday morning, because my parents were visiting me all last weekend, so I had no time to go get flowers, and I wanted fresh flowers. So yesterday morning, I went to the store. I purchased some flowers from the store for my mother. And on my way to the checkout counter, cashier, whatever you want to call it, there was a man who just, like, intercepted me. And he goes, oh, are those for me? Thanks. And he couldn't have been younger than 60, and that doesn't matter at all, but it just was like, I was just trying to live my day. I was just trying to do my life, and you went and did that. And it was coming too fast and it was too quickly, and I just yelled, "You're welcome," and sort of like half-heartedly held them out before walking away.
Question.
Yeah.
Was he joking, or did he actually take them?
He did not take them from my grasp.
Okay,
no,
good.
He did not require me to take them.
It was
actually in my time of walking in, having the flowers be the first thing inside the store, the checkout being the second thing inside the store, and then walking directly out, I actually got told, "Are those for me?" 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It just reminded me of the whole people being like, "You look tired."
No, I get it.
Sort of ideal, and it's just like, why do people think that that's an okay way to start a conversation with a stranger?
Are those for me? Sure, you can, if you want, if you haven't heard it literally 10 times within that day, within 5 minutes. Okay, it's fine. But there is no upside. There is zero upside from saying either you're so tired or you look so dead inside. There is no way that by saying that you have made their life better. You have made them come to a realization that's like, you know what? I am dead inside, and I will stop this, and I will become a better person. And then they're gonna smile and nod and say, I knew I've done my part here.
That really spoke to my soul for you to tell me how unliving I look.
I was put on this earth to make sure you knew that you need to start living, because you're so gosh darn dead inside.
Wake up, sheeple, you're dead inside. That's, yeah.
This is another great point. When the person came up to you, did they say, oh my gosh, you look really dead inside? Or did they say, you're so dead inside? Change that. Did they try and like speak to your soul? Or did they throw it at you like it was just like chit chat? Like, hey, nice dress. You look a little dead inside.
Do you think zombies have depression, Zane?
I do. I think nobody takes them seriously because they're made fun of for being dead, and they're made fun of for not having a brain and being so dumb that they need to eat R's to feel smarter. Also, they're made fun of because they can't run sometimes, and so they're stupidly slow. And they're made fun of for being lepers because their limbs fall off.
Yeah, nobody ever takes the mental health of a zombie into account.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Just because they don't have a brain doesn't mean that they don't have mental health problems.
Or feelings, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Being dead inside is an actual problem for many.
Yeah, exactly.
Particularly zombies.
Think before you act.
Why do people think it's okay to comment on me looking tired or dead inside? Tired.
Yeah.
My verbal dyslexia.
Why do they? I think it's because everybody wants to be that one person that, you know, that the theory of every single person, you're the only real person and you're in a dream, and really you're asleep.
Oh, I thought I was the only one who thought that. Thank goodness, Zane.
You're asleep in a coma right now or something, and like you could...
Oh my goodness. Someone on another planet has been controlling me for this whole life. They actually live to be like 800 years old, but they have nothing better to do, so they've decided to just like plug themselves in and live my life for like 80 years or until they get bored.
Exactly.
And they decide to like tell a car to hit me.
Exactly. So I think, hey, They tell the car, go hit my guy over there.
Go hit my guy. It's like the respawn button.
I legitimately, and this is my actual answer, I legitimately think it's because they want to be the person that wakes you up from your coma.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
By telling you that you're tired, it will hit you, and it will become more lucid, and you'll realize that you need to wake up more.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
You look dead inside. You're being controlled by another person.
Yeah.
You're the only living being on this planet.
You're being controlled by a person. You are the only real human. Wake up.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that's probably it. That's what they're trying to do. If you're listening to this podcast, whoever's listening to this podcast who's actually the real person, because we all know it isn't me, you are now free to wake up. You may leave this void of nothingness that you have known and continue your life as you knew it before being put into this hellscape of a trance.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Zane, I want you to give me one more question, please.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. The one more question. Speaking of being dead inside. Okay. This question comes from AliceCat1, and the question is, what happens if I buy a pizza and address it to the House of Representatives while it's in session? And the context is, do they send it back, or do 200 plus old dudes fight out for the slices? One pizza.
I've seen some fights in the House of Representatives in my time.
Were any of the fights for one pizza?
For one pizza. Well, so if
8 slices.
So you're saying if you told it to go there, that there would be a man named Drew who would walk into session and say, "Who ordered this?
Yeah.
Tell me. Hey, stop it. Hey, be quiet."
Drew knows how to act within the House of Representatives. He knows that he has to be assertive. He says, "Hey, everybody, stop your fighting and bickering.
This pizza, it says it's for Mark." Oh, there are 18 marks. There are 18 marks in the House of Representatives.
It's still warm. Got 8 slices. Can't feed everybody, but who wants
One
this?
of you marks got to fight over this pizza. There is a mark in this room, and he bought this pizza. I am convinced. Gosh darn it. Will the mark please stand up?" And then you have 3 of them stand up at the same time, and they look at each other, and they all know that they did not order the pizza. And you see the 3 of them start to haggle.
Now, I know this was not a prank, because nobody would ever dare order a pizza to the House of Representatives while it is in session.
And then say that it belongs to the most commonly named person in the House of Representatives, meaning that 18 marks could possibly be responsible for this pizza being delivered.
Now, I want all 18 marks in here to admit to me that
each one of you had a hand in this mess.
You all had a hand in this, and you all would kill for a slice. This is straight from
this DiGiorno pizza. Hold on, that's not
Shaquille O'Neal's Papa John's.
I'd like to imagine Shaquille O'Neal has nothing better to do these days than to call up, like Papa John's and tell them to bring a pizza to the House of Representatives and have the marks fight over it.
I mean, I'm pretty positive, if I'm not mistaken, he runs Papa John's now.
Shaquille O'Neal is the spokesperson for Papa John's. Papa John decided to step down when Shaq sent him a message saying, "Hey, I'm going to do the John part now. I'm going to do the Papa job.
You be the Papa.
Look at me. I'm the John now. I am the Papa. You will address me as Papa.
I'm now John. Just Father John. I'm father to my I'm going back to my first name, Father.
Father John's Holy Pies. That's what the new name is.
I now run Father John's Holy Pies.
Shaquille O'Neal presents Father John's Holy Pies.
Shaq runs Big Papa's Pizza Joint, and Father John runs Father John's Holy Pies, and they're somehow the same.
Father John's Holy Pies delivers for free to all 13 nuns who are still in practice these days.
A pizza for every sin you've committed.
Oh no! The more sins, the more pizzas.
A pizza.
Papa John's. More sins, more pizza.
It's a confessional, really. You get
Father John's. More sins, more pizza.
You get every time you confess, you get a free pizza.
One confession equals 1 slice. Maximum 1 topping.
So it's like you're having a party like for the Super Bowl or whatnot. You've got like 20 pizzas, and they say, "Whoa, Timmy, how much crime have you committed?" Timmy, you've got like 200 slices.
Hi, I'd like to pay in adultery.
Be real with me. What did you do?
Hi, this is Father John's. Hi, I'd like to order a delivery. Oh, sure. How would you like to pay? I'd like to pay in adultery. Oh, boy, Johnny, what happened? Lay it on me, bud. Just tell me it all. And then we'll decide if it's worth the 3 pizzas you need.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is a scheme here. I love this. Shaq, what a phenomenal idea.
So, thank you, because as we know, the real question asker was obviously Shaquille O'Neal under some Reddit alias. If you sent it to the House of Representatives, it'd be an awesome prank. But unfortunately, out of 18 marks, 10 would die fighting for the 8 slices. Because this is, as we discussed already with the two-handed greatsword baby situation, pizza is a live or die situation. You know, they're not just going to be like, oh, you can have it. House of Representatives gets to eat once a year. So you've just given them a second opportunity.
They just work so hard. Those poor representatives.
They get $20 for lunch annually. So you've just given them a free jab at more food.
It's pretty much pro bono minus the $20 annual lunch break. I like the idea that when they start fighting over Father John's pizza, the person to commit murder is the one who actually ends up winning the pizza.
Yeah.
Because he is paid the most, literally, in sin for the pizza. Also, Father John, shame on you for saying that people need to do bad things to pay for their pizza. What kind of deal are you running here? You're basically encouraging them to make bad choices.
Father John, you got to get your act together. Hey,
where did you get ordained, mister?
Father John, I've got a question for you. How many slices have you earned? Huh?
Oh, how many pieces of pizza have you eaten in your life that you've paid for?
Do you have this franchise full of pizza because of all the sins that you've committed? And now you're giving away your sin-filled holy pies to other sinners.
This is the New Age indulgences, I'm pretty sure.
I'm just going to say it right now. I'm going to own up to it. My baby prison, only food that's going to be served there is Father John's holy pies.
Only. That's how they earn their food. It all ties together. How many pies have you earned by creating the prison?
I've earned a slice per baby, because every baby has at least one crime to commit.
Is that it? Is that the price per baby? That is how much a baby is worth in Father John's eyes. Just one slice per child life.
Obviously, every baby's worth one slice of pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why they have to keep committing crimes within the prison, so that they can keep eating.
Absolutely. It all ties in.
Yeah.
Hey, now that we've put a nice little cap on all of our stories and whatnot, I'd like to let you know, this is the end of our show.
Oh, nuts.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's over. Go
Just
home.
kidding. We want to say thank you to our listeners and followers for making this podcast possible. Hey, thank you again to all of our question askers for sending in your questions. This has been a fantastic time. I've enjoyed myself. Zane is once again removing the claymore. Yeah, there it is. There's the noise. That's a little teaser to what the baby prison sounds like when they're cutting each other open with those halberds or what have you.
Goo gaga.
Goo goo gaga.
Gaga.
This has been Save Your Bacon. Thank you so much, folks. My name is Will.
I'm Zane.
And take it easy, guys. And if it's easy, take it twice.